Welcome back to Surface Unscripted, episode 177, and it's a special one. We are wearing the red for Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. I hope everyone's feeling loved up and whatever. And if you're not a loved up one and you are alone, you are loved by us. And that counts for a lot, right? So if you're alone, go into the comment section, just say, I'm alone, and we will respond to you. We will show you some love. But anyway, boys, URC, we finally got a full weekend again, round 11. Breva, my man, how are you doing?
Yeah, super excited because there's so much rugby that's starting. Super Rugby. Obviously, we're not going to chat about that today, but please do yourself a favor and watch Super Rugby. It will just do you great. And then obviously for us,
it will make you smile.
Yeah, and obviously on Monday, Varsity Cup starting. That's another tasty thing to always watch as well.
Yeah.
And the full weekend of URC. Obviously no Six Nations, but that's back next weekend. But wearing the red for the Lions, Valentine's Day. Obviously.
No, not wearing the red for the Lions. Let's not push it. Okay, people. I did post a video. When was it now? Wednesday. I'll be covering the Super Rugby with Aiden Rugby Ramblings. If you guys want to go over to just Casual Bias Rugby and go, if you actually watch the Super Rugby, we do a little bit of a podcast form on that once a week. But now it's URC chat. If you do like your URC and you do like talking a bit of shit just like us, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. Anyway, Brevan, we're wearing the red, so let's just talk about the team in red. First up, we got a little South African derby. Lions versus the Stormers. I can't be wearing red actually for this segment because obviously we don't wear red. We're playing against the team that wears red, but we are absolutely beating them down. I'm telling you now.
I agree.
You do?
I do. Yeah, I think the Stormers are. I mean, they played against. Obviously, look, Bulls also have their injuries that they're dealing with, but they still had a very good side out there on the field, right? And I felt like the Stormers did a decent job in kind of staying, because when you look at that back line that they played against.
Pause, Brevan. Well, that was technical difficulties. And a bunch of it. I don't even know what just happened.
Neither do I. Who knows?
Bro, ESCOM, I don't know what you're doing. Right? Fix up. Anyway, Brevan, continue.
Yeah. No, as I was saying, I still think you have a very good forward pack. I think your forward pack is better than the Lions forward pack. And then as well, I think obviously that back line, I think they did a lot better than I thought against the Bulls. And at the end of the day, I think the Stormers will be very hungry after that game against the Bulls. A lot of a game they probably should have won, a game that just was a kick away to winning. And yeah, I think you guys go into this game with confidence, but at the same time, I think there's a hunger about that Stormers team, because like Dobbo said, right? Maybe top 4 is gone, but that top 8 fight is not finished yet, and I think that's exactly what he'll want to prove, and the team will want to prove. And obviously the Lions, right? If we praised them about being this team at the beginning of the season. If I'm not correct, they're sitting 13th.
Yeah,
that is literally wild, because we were talking about them being in the playoffs, right?
2 games in hand though. If they win both with a bonus point, then they equal with 5th.
Fairs, but I just don't see them winning those, to be fair. I think the Stormers beat them.
Yeah.
And then they travel to the Bulls next week, and I think the Bulls beat them at Loftus.
Big thing for me, Stormers were on good momentum. Losing 2 games in a row against Racing 92 and the Bulls, we might be hurting. It's either going to be one of those where we continue to stink it out or actually put up a performance of confidence. And we need a performance of confidence. We heard what Dobbo said. I still want to get your opinion on it, with Dobbo almost looking emotional. I don't know if you saw it when he spoke about the injuries that we're going through, and that this team, with if you had Hartzenberg there, if you had Damian Willems, if you had Sasha, if you had Mani Lubbock and stuff, right? But that's why you need depth, right? obviously this is very unfortunate that we have all these injuries and stuff. But that, like, the issue wasn't necessarily the structure or anything. I think there was a lot of individual errors that keep costing us games. The defense is crazy. Having Mani, Sasha, and Damian Willemse there is not going to make our lineout any better. It's not going to make that we all of a sudden don't lose about 6 lineouts every single game when we are 5 meters away. Like, those are things that needs to be worked on, right? That is not injuries costing us that game. Yeah, they might have brought a little X factor and we could have scored more tries and stuff. But when you score 33 points, that usually is enough to win you the game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So this time around, I don't care about the injuries anymore. I don't care, right? These guys have played long enough. The system is good enough. There's talented boys there. Like, seriously, at some point, you got to look and say, well, there's a lot of old fucks that we're playing out here instead of young, new talent that's coming through that everyone is hyping up, right? I said it at the start of the season when we had injuries and we really, really struggled. When it was like, well, this is the perfect time to play your youngsters. Paul de Villiers, there's no way that he's not even in the Stormers team at the moment. He didn't even get a look in before the injuries. And look at that. What tells you that JC Mars can't be the same, or Imad Khan can't be the same? How many times do I need to mention those names, right? But we keep playing older guys that don't perform in those positions. I'm tired of it. This is a must-win game. You have to. It's Derby.
Yeah, it is, right? And I think I looked at the past couple results between Stormers and Lions, and obviously you guys edge it. What's wrong?
By the way, I'm sorry for being rude and calling them old fucks. That was harsh. Just older guys that frustrate me. That frustrate me. You get it. I've been moaning about this for so long. My apologies.
Yeah, 100%. But at the end of the day, I think, what was I even talking about?
My bad. Sorry.
It's all good.
I hit that clarity afterwards where I was like, oh, that was terrible to say. That was rude.
Passion, man. But at the end of the day, right, like you said, there has to be a balance, right? Because obviously Dobbo still thinks there's an opportunity where he can go and qualify for the playoffs, right? But at the same time, you got to trust your youngsters, right? Because I think the Stormers are in a place where, like you said, it's the perfect time, especially in that backline, right? Even Paul de Villiers, get the guy, like, he's involved now. He's definitely found his place in that team, I think. And he's...
Ben Jason Dixon is not playing great rugby. Play Ben Jason Dixon off the bench. Give Paul de Villiers that opportunity to start the game.
That's the thing, right? Because you're looking at guys who are hungry, right? And they don't... In these days, like, we've seen it, these guys don't get much opportunity. And when they get their opportunity, they'll take it, right? You saw the likes of Hanekom, right? He got this opportunity at the beginning of last season, and he's taken it like it was just given to him. Like, he took it, and I think that's what a lot of players do these days, because we see it with Rassie, for example, right? Very rarely do you see these new guys getting opportunity, and you have to take it, right? But the opportunity needs to come from somewhere, and I think the Stormers have so much talent. We know this, especially in their academy, right? And obviously a lot of them play for the junior box. And these guys are the future of this country if they are used correctly. And
you get these almost hypocritical statements so many times, and I'm not referring only to the Stormers, right? Like, you get it the whole time with the South African teams. Why can't we compete? Because of the depth, right? We keep on talking about this depth thing. We don't have the depth of Leinster or Munster or even Glasgow. What the hell? I don't even care, right? But then when you have all the injuries, right, they go and take guys that's like 40 years old and we keep playing them instead of getting the younger guys through. That builds depth, right? Like, you're saying the one thing, and then when that opportunity comes, it's like, okay, you're forced to build your depth now. You don't. Make it make sense. Are we writing off the Lions?
I don't... Maybe, right? But from what I saw against the Bulls, right, it just wasn't good enough. Like, let's be real with ourselves here. We lost key players early on. We lost Ruan Nokia, we lost Ulrich Loh, our two captains. We lost them, and we still managed to find a way to win that game. I think that's crazy. I know it's obviously horrible that these injuries have occurred, but as a Lions player, I'm thinking they've just lost two of their leaders and best players. We need to capitalize on this, and they didn't. Obviously, they stuck in it and they did lead it a bit, but like just the fact that they couldn't bring it home, that
Feels
kind
like
of
a
worries.
different Lions than the start of the season.
Yeah, 100%. Because I think the Lions at the beginning of the season would have finished that game off, in my opinion.
Weren't they like 4 from 4? That's when we spoke about them, and since
They were
then,
the best. They were the best franchise at a stage this season. I think it was very early on, but
best
they were.
looking, yeah, 100%. That
Especially
performance
after
on
that
Edinburgh and
Yeah.
Ulster,
Crazy. It's just not the same, right? And I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I just don't see that. Obviously, great news. Henku van Wyk stays on with the Lions for a bit. Asenati as well, apparently.
Frankie on as well, 27.
That's massive, right? Because we've seen the Lions be unable to retain players that have been crucial for them.
Yeah.
But now they've got to do something with these players because otherwise it's just going to continuously be this team that just continuously creates a player and sends them off to Durban or sends them off to Pretoria.
Yeah.
Like
this is their golden time now, right? They had the good start to the season. They've really dropped off. Like, it's almost sad. But you can't start well and then finish well, but your middle patch is terrible, right?
Mm.
Like, they've got to kick on. They've still got 2 games in hand. As I said, if they can win those games in hand, right, all of a sudden they're right back up there. Because, I mean, yeah, they're on 19 points, the same as third last, Connacht. They've got 2 more games than them, right? So massive opportunity for the Lions, especially if they can get a victory over the Stormers, who literally just came off a massive loss as well.
Yeah.
Right? The Stormers are there for the taking at the moment. Like, kick them all down. Anyway, let's actually move on. Bulls at Loftus taking on the Sharks. Do you feel confident, Brevin?
Seeing their team, because they've released their team, we haven't released ours.
I haven't even seen that.
So Sia Khaleesi is out because of Springbok duties, apparently. I think they have a bit of a camp. Apparently.
Okay.
And Jaden Hendrickson as well. Those two are out with Springbok responsibilities or something. It's either a camp or I don't know what it is. But then Lucanio, their backline looks great, right? I think their backline.
Let me go and check.
Their forward pack, however, they do have Bongi. They do have Vincent Tuchuku, who's captaining the side, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a forward pack that I believe we will butcher, in my opinion.
That backline is probably as strong as it gets for them.
Yeah, so the backline...
Grant Williams, Tia Masuku, Lucanio Am at 12, Lorenzo Julius at 13, Ethan Hook on the wing, Penke on the other wing, and then Jordan Hendrickson. I would have just played Lucanio Am and Ethan Hooker as my centers, right?
And
like
Lorenzo
playing a 12 at 12, and then Lorenzo Julius on the wing. Just makes more sense.
Yeah, but I think they clearly see a massive future for Lorenzo at 13, and I think similar for Ethan Hooker. I think there's a future for him at 12, but obviously you got to fit Lucanio in there somewhere. But like you said, you could have done it the other way. But like if you look at that forward pack, right? Like obviously Bongi's there, but they don't have Ox, they don't have Evan, they don't have Sia. I think we win this game physically. If we want to win this game, we win.
How your scrum was, yeah.
I think scrum penalties is Bok rugby 101. Scrum penalty, kick it to the touch and maul them. That's what I would do. I think their backline is on par, or let's say probably even better than ours. But yeah, look, confidence is a weird way to put it, right? Like, I think we should get it done, but at the same time...
I wouldn't say confident, but you're secure in you should get the victory.
So, but then I just look back at that Stormers game and I think, again, a Bulls team slipping lucky that he missed that kick. because, we started so well, right?
I'm more confident than you in the Bulls winning. I've got the Bulls winning. I've got the Bulls winning by 8 points. It's this thing with the Sharks. Great team. The coaching just ain't there, right? Like we've seen them get unstuck multiple times. I don't think that forwards, like, they might put up a little bit of a kick at the start, but Mchunu is not your greatest scrummager. Going up against Volkulo and Jan-Hendrik Wessels, who absolutely just hung Frans Malherbe out to dry completely.
And then you have who can rotate as well. It's just a bit...
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
So I've got the Bulls dominating when it comes to the forward pack. Cameron Hanekom is absolutely elite, right? Like, you're not stopping him from anywhere. And I'm really looking forward to... I hope you guys are going Willie Leroux at 10 again.
I think we will.
Because he got a little taster against the Stormers, but now maybe Willie's a quick learner. Give him a second game there at Loftus Versfeld as well. Give him the kicking tee. Yes. So the Sharks have got a bunch of individual magic. They don't necessarily have that structure for me. And I think when you play against the Bulls, it's going to be a tough day at the office for you.
Yeah, look, with it being at Loftus, and I think the Bulls will realize they have to capitalize on this little 3-week home derby thing they have going. Because obviously, Sharks at home, Lions at home, Stormers at home, all in 3 weeks. And I think it is so important that we win every single one. I'm not saying we will. I think we'll win the first 2. I think that Stormers game becomes interesting because of how everything went down in Cape Town. I think it's a very interesting game that I need to think more about. But I just think, like, they'll realize that this is so important because they're playing their 3 derbies at home. Imagine the momentum if you win 3 on the trot against the 3 derbies, like your 3 rivals. It is huge. It is massive for you. So the Bulls, and you have to start off beating the Sharks. Like, I think the momentum gets killed if you lose this, and they'll realize that. But at the same time, this Bulls thing of start well, shut down, start to play something.
That card's not going to fly this weekend.
It can't, right? Because you're looking at that backline of the Sharks. They'll punish you if you are even remotely switched off. So, Bulls have to put in an 80-minute performance. They cannot afford to switch off.
Yeah. Okay, let's chat about the rest. We got a little Valentine's Day special, 2 games Friday evening. Edinburgh taking on Zebre. We can just kind of fly through the rest because it's so tough to call the rest, right? Because we don't know those teams in depth when they don't have their main players playing, right? Because they're not available. So Edinburgh taking on Zebre. I would not be surprised if Zebre pulls a close one, right? Not winning, just like keeps it tight because there's not too many Zebre players in that Italian team, right? I called the Zebre victory the previous time and they did win. I can't even remember who they played. Was it the Ospreys? I don't even know. Right, I can't remember. But I do expect Edinburgh to sneak over the line by like 6 points, but Zebre to put up a healthy fight.
Like you said, right? Edinburgh is missing some big names, obviously, because of the whole Six Nations. But Zebre is, it's a team, like you said, that doesn't have much internationals in it, and it's still a team that will know each other quite well. It's still a team that has played a lot of rugby together this season. Obviously, I don't think they'll get the result, but I agree with you in the fact that I just think it's closer than people think, right? Because you're looking at a Zebre that obviously we always banter the Scots teams for playing the Italians teams twice. I mean, it does benefit, but yeah, I think Edinburgh win. 8 points, decent game, but yeah, I think Edinburgh should win this.
Okay. Leinster versus Ospreys. A lot of the Ospreys guys at Wales, obviously nearly the whole Leinster team at Ireland, but their squad depth is just so unreal. I can't see it going anywhere other than a Leinster victory. I mean, they played kind of a second string team against even the Stormers and put a proper pumping on us. I'm going Leinster by 16 points. I think that would be a healthy margin. Still getting their bonus point. There you go.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Because imagine how much confidence like you have knowing, like let's say as those guys back that are currently with Ireland, right? They know that the guys they've left the job to will get it done most likely. Like
Yeah,
it's such a structured team, and obviously they're not going to be missing Achia Snyman. They're not going to be missing Geordie Barrett.
yeah.
They'll be there, and those are obviously massive, massive positives to have. I mean, so yeah, I think Leinster, regardless of even if they didn't have Achia or Geordie, I just think their structure, their Nienaber being there, everything about them has just improved, and I think very intelligent team. So Leinster by 15, 15, 16, somewhere there.
Yeah. Benetton versus Ulster. Benetton at home. Now, I would have backed Benetton, but they've got so many players gone. Right, literally, Minicello and Breaks, two of their biggest players, Negri gone. Right, just that is
Yep.
massive for them, and that's obviously just the standout names that pops into my mind. Right, I just can't see them keeping up with Ulster, who's not lost those as many players. Now, I don't see Ulster ever pumping any team, so I just have an Ulster victory, and I'm going by 5 points because I think playing Intraviso is never easy. So Benetton maybe has enough fire to stay in the game, maybe even at like halftime still leading the game. But I do reckon in the end, Ulster will just be too strong.
Yeah, I think I agree. I'm trying to give reason to Benetton, but when you lack depth, which I think the Italian sides do, right? They rely so heavily on their star players. It's just difficult to kind of be able to perform when you don't have your star man there. Ulster, like you said, a team with not many internationals, they would have stuck together. They would have trained together. They would have not even had a break, I'm sure. Maybe like a little week break of training, but they would have been consistently working together. And yeah, with them, even though they're away, I still think Ulster, a team that are, they almost remind me if anyone would remember this. There used to be teams in the Premier League that would just, they weren't the greatest, but they used to stink it out and just manage like a 1-0 win or a
Yeah,
1-1 draw. And that's the team Ulster is, right? They don't necessarily stink it out, but they're not the most exciting team. But
yeah.
they managed to
Ugly
make,
victories all day
yeah,
long. Park the bus football, counter attack,
and they make the games close. So
Jose
that
Mourinho football.
yeah, you got to respect it. So I think Ulster win this, but I think they just creep over the line. I'm going to go Ulster by like 4.
I've also got Ulster by 4. So,
Uh,
yeah. Next up, Munster versus Scarlets. I'll give you the floor.
Munster Scarlets.
I've got the upset, Brevan. I've got Scarlets by 2 points. I feel very proud of
I'm
it.
thinking.
I'm basing it purely on vibes, right? That Scarlets have got the form players of Wales, but they haven't been picked necessarily for Wales. So I've got them, right? Because they're also sitting nicely in 6th. This Munster team that they might be fielding could be the same Munster team that lost to Zebre. And I am all here for it. Who doesn't like a little upset victory, right? I'm not trying to make Munster fans mad, right? Like the expectation would still be for you to win it. I wouldn't be surprised at all, right? But I've got like a 20% chance that Scarlets get it over the line, and I'm backing that 20%. Give me Scarlets by 2 points, maybe even a sneaky little drop goal or penalty at the end, getting their 4 points. There you go.
What time is this game being played?
19:15.
So about 5:15 there. Okay. Um, yeah, the reason I say is, those, like you say, a cold night in Stoke or a wet and
Yeah,
cold. Yeah, it's one of those
a
things,
rainy
right?
night in Stoke.
Yeah. The reason I was so hesitant when you brought up the game is because I'm also. You'd swear we spoke before the episode, but I swear we didn't. I agree. I genuinely agree. I think there's an upset on the cards here. It's a Munster team that can either be fantastic or they can be absolutely shite. And I think they're going to be absolutely shite because I just don't see them putting up the performance. I don't.
So you're also backing the upset victory.
I'm backing it. I think
Oh
Scarlets
my
win
word!
I'm going to go Scarlets by 7. Whole try.
Goodness gracious! Oh, who are you backing? Connacht versus Cardiff. This is the next game.
Cardiff.
I'm backing Cardiff too.
No, listen. No Aki, no Hansen, no Biel. I think it's Bielim, if that's how you pronounce it.
The way Aki played the other weekend, right?
Regardless,
it's probably good that he's not even playing.
Those are 3 massive like players for Connacht, and they're not there. So
yep.
Cardiff, are they still sitting 4th, eh?
Cardiff sitting in 5th.
5th.
Yeah. And Connacht sitting in 14th.
But we said it, right? If Cardiff wants to make anything of this, you've got to win these games. And this is the perfect game to win. You win your away game against Connacht, it all of a sudden looks very tasty for you. Like, you've just got to... Look, at the end of the day, Cardiff, we again, a team that doesn't get beaten by much, but at the same time, they don't win by much. So,
yeah,
just one of those teams that will grind it out, and I can see.
But they do play some nice rugby every now and again. Like, I'm not
they
gonna
do.
lie. Now and again. Ulster, now and again, doesn't play ugly rugby. But that's the difference.
Yeah, so, yeah, I think Cardiff by like 8 points.
I've got Cardiff by 6. To do it in... They're doing it in Ireland, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. But, yeah. This will test the depth of Connacht, right? Because we've been...
Yeah, of course. But it will test the strength of Cardiff. Like, this is massive. This is actually where BMT kicks in, right? Obviously, it kicks in at the playoffs and whatever, right? But when you've got something where you've got this massive opportunity, and I'm speaking the same with when it comes to Ulster, right? Or Scarlets, for instance. You've got this massive opportunity to actually go and get it done. Pull a performance out of your ass and do it full strength. There you go. Field whatever you can and just throw everything at them. If you lose, so what? Right? But these are massive 4 points. When you play one of the stronger teams, while they can't field a strong team, you have to take your opportunities. You have to.
Yep.
Because there's no way that I would have backed Scarlets with a full-strength Munster team at home. Like,
Exactly. Yep.
I know Scarlets are playing decent rugby and stuff, but that would just be ridiculous. They could still pull it off, but I wouldn't back it. Now I'm backing it. Now you got to prove yourself. Dragons versus Glasgow, the final game of the weekend. Glasgow, they've had trouble traveling lately. Obviously, a lot of their big-name players not there, but I like their system. And Dragons stinking it out in 8th. I just can't see the Dragons is winning, even if they're yeah.
Is there 3 Welsh teams in the top 8?
Glasgow, Cardiff, Scarlets.
Glasgow?
Glasgow's 2nd.
No, they're not Welsh though.
Oh my word! What am I saying? What am I saying? My bad.
It's late. It's late.
Oh goodness, that's horrific. Sorry, Scottish. Sorry, bro.
The same thing. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
so
Ospreys are sitting in 12th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's Cardiff and Scarlets 5th and 6th, and then Ospreys at 12th and Dragons at 16th. Wow, I feel like a total idiot now. Whatever.
It's fine. Look, the reason I ask, right, is we criticize these Welsh teams so much, but they're
sitting in 2nd.
They're sitting in 2nd, yeah. They're sitting in the playoffs, 2 of them, right? Obviously, look, I don't think that lasts, but I don't know. No, I don't. I think Glasgow are too well equipped. I think they have a wonderful coach, a guy who I think should be coaching at an elite level.
I've seen the Scottish calling for Townsend Z, and they want Franco Smith to take over there.
I mean, I wouldn't blame them, just because I think he's such a good coach. If he can get Glasgow to win the URC, I think he can do great things with Scotland if that was ever on the horizon or whatever. But the point
Fearless
is,
rugby.
yeah, I just feel like their structure's good. You know, Carl Steyn, I know he's busy training back in Glasgow at the moment. The mood will be on the up, right? They're defending champions, and a defending champion, regardless if they're full strength or not, will need to win games like this. So
That's massive for them.
I back him.
Especially getting into securing that top 4 spots, getting those home playoff games. You know how tough they are to beat at home. So yeah, that would be massive for them. I've got Glasgow by 12 points.
Yeah, I think Glasgow 9. Glasgow by 9.
Okay, that brings us to the end. People, please do remember to hit that like and subscribe button. It was a bit more of a mellow episode. Obviously, we can't talk too in depth as we mentioned about other teams. Unfortunately, we're not rugby experts. Very close.
I mean, let's be realistic. Not even the pundits in South Africa will know about the ins and outs of the up and coming teams of the other teams. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. I just think what we do know is who their coaches are. You know, how many have gone away, that type of thing, and that's what we can base it off. So take it as a pinch of salt.
Yeah, take care, people. Have a good one. Ciao. Bye bye. See you later. Cheerios.